Eating jabs at the man. That's why I won't jump in.
You know he would.
Oh, he's the biggest bully
we are
of
rolling
all time.
episode 20 Jungle Brothers podcast, JB Cast. Welcome. Keep going.
Okay, are you recording now?
We're on,
Not
son.
now, no. Oh, now I am. Yeah, I'm recording.
Yeah, you're recording.
Yeah.
Well,
Hello. We keep it casual here. We roll in.
We were just touching base real quick, catching up on current affairs. There was a famous strength conditioning coach, Charles Poliquin, who passed away a few days ago.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. He was a very influential character, contrasting also. But was big news, right, in the fitness realm.
Yeah, huge.
But
And
it was actually kind of under wraps. Not many people know. I just found out inadvertently.
and you finding out has made me also find out. And so I'm actually not shocked that he has died prematurely because, let's just say, he possibly wasn't the healthiest health and fitness leader in the world.
He was a performance guy, right?
He was very much about the now.
The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Oh,
If anyone can tell me what movie that's from, I will give you $50. You can consider it till the end of the show if you like.
okay.
I know the answer. There's somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give your best.
Dirty Dancing.
Pre-kids, I could tell you. Yeah.
No, bro.
Footloose.
Does Joey,
What are your other favourites?
does Joey only have like a 3-movie
You must have confused me with your father.
No, definitely not. Probably look around
Ghost.
the same age. But
He's spewing because I just showed the photo.
But
Let me be.
that face is Charles Poliquin relaxed. that look when you power clean your
big weight in
your,
that face.
your
I'm showing
PR
it just
like
for the
big weight.
Just for the people out there, I'm just showing a photo of Tiora. It was mid lift.
Brutal.
He was lifting some kind of extremely heavy weight, at least 50 kilos, and there's a look of effort in the face,
yeah
and
He's got the
compression.
forehead vein.
Yeah. Everyone looks like that at some point. He just does that extra special, and it was captured on camera.
Which is cool.
Wow.
And that's Poliquin's resting face.
That's his
That's
face.
the kind of pressure you do when you're doing a 50-kilo Turkish get-up.
Yeah.
True.
So we got JT in the house. Oh, do we need to do any intro bit? It's the Jungle Brothers show. We're out at 15 Underwood Avenue in Botany.
Yep.
You guys already know that. JungleBrothers.com. If you want to get in touch, you can drop us a line right there on our website. We're doing all the good work out here. Fight, lift, move. But we've got a good old buddy of ours and of mine in particular, JT, in the house today. JT, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I feel like
Hi.
the fourth of the brothers. Maybe like a closely
Yeah.
related cousin that hangs out a lot with you guys because I had irresponsible parents, and so now I'm just kind of part of the fan.
Yeah, bro, for sure. You're part of the Melbourne affiliation.
Yeah. I think if we could do it, we do. I'd be the Melbourne JB brother.
Do you reckon you could give us like a little intro, like who you are?
Yeah,
What you do?
Definitely. Well, I'm basically a cultural change agent sent here to revolutionize the world. No, I'm a personal trainer, and I've done that for as long as it goes. So I started personal training back in 2001. So yeah, I was in the PT thing before it was cool. I like to say that because no one was really doing it then. And also always done martial arts. So the biggest factor in my life, changed my life, is I started Taekwondo at a young age. And all the stuff I learned from martial arts changed my life and enabled me to be a fit, strong human, disciplined human. And then later down the track, I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So my constant love of health and fitness and all things hard work, maybe it's just a masochist in me, has led me down the jiu-jitsu path. So, and that's where you come in, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, that's how we met, right?
I had people coming up to me at comps in Melbourne being like, do you know, are you Joe? Do you know Joe? I was like, no, what are you talking about?
Are you Joe's brother?
Are you Joe's brother? I was like, no. And they're like, are you a personal trainer that also does kettlebell training and does jiu-jitsu? And I'm like, yes. They're like, oh, confusing. But then I feel that maybe someone had said something similar to you.
I had the exact same questions.
Yeah. And people said, oh, do you know that guy? And then the moments and time coalesced. I believe it was at an Abu Dhabi trials in Sydney. And someone from Dojo was like, wait. Joey's here, you're here. We have to get a photo of you two together. This is gonna, this will be strange.
The world's going to melt.
And I remember there was a definite the space-time continuum of my mind tore, because I was like, I recognize this guy. Oh, hang on, slightly better looking version of myself. This is confronting. But then from there we started to catch up and hang out and jiu-jitsu and also strength conditioning work, and and so the relationship starts. And funnily enough, we even though we competed the same bracket, we're physically basically the same human, we never actually fought each other.
I was quite thankful for that.
So was I. There's definitely going to be some, double impact type.
Would have been like
situation.
stepbrothers.
Yes. May have been no jiu-jitsu taught at all. But what's cool, I think, is having been in different spaces at different times, we've learned different things, but ended up on similar journeys. And you here with the Jungle Brothers movement, which is awesome. So Tiora and Paulie, I've had the pleasure of being able to be welcome here and see what you guys are doing from afar and kind of, quietly fan out on that business. And yeah, like I'm at the Richmond gym in Melbourne, and a lot of what we do there isn't too dissimilar from what you guys do. It's probably not as cool, I'll be honest, because the owner
Definitely.
because James Ross is a sports scientist and he's a clinical head, and everything for him is about the science, and so that makes it boring. But the training is awesome, and it's very well periodized, and we have an awesome community. Everyone there's really nice. We don't have mirrors. We have free space, and it's all about not how you look. It's about what you can do. So we're about taking regular people and making them more awesome to be stronger, fitter, more mobile, healthier people, So that's what we do on a regular basis. And I see we could probably I feel we could take a lot of cues from your book in terms of community and the cohesiveness within the people. Because that's why I love seeing with you guys, with Jungle Brothers, is the events and the JB games and all this kind of thing. That's really awesome. And I feel like what we're lacking a lot in the society and gyms now is this individualistic culture where we put on the bloody Beats by Dre, we get in our zone, we take our pre-workout and our Adderall, and we just pound on the treadmill and don't look at anyone, then do our posing routine, then wear our very overpriced bodybuilding boots, put on our special weight belt and do very light deadlifts and don't look at anyone and don't talk to anyone, and then leave the
bodybuilding
gym.
has boots?
Yeah, bro. Right
Never
away.
heard of them.
Are they kind of like the wrestlers' boots that bodybuilders
very,
like to wear?
very
Chad
similar.
used to wear those.
Very similar.
Like pumps.
Yeah.
Like pumps.
Similar.
Reebok pumpy kind of looking.
Yeah,
things.
but no salt. Like just
Okay.
yeah,
Who used to wear them?
Chad. Like the little ankle high,
Yeah. Little,
yeah.
flat sole kind of wrestler's
Yeah.
shoes.
And they train in it, or is it for
Yeah,
posing?
yeah.
It makes
Bit of
your
a look
calves
as
look
well.
extra big because they're very
There's
tight.
no heel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a big element
Fascinating.
of that which is posing. But what I love is the community. You guys are really spot on with that, and I admire that about you guys. And I feel like that's the best thing about martial arts as well, is being in touch with this community. So
Totally.
very pleased to be here. Thank you, gentlemen, to be on here because you've had lots of esteemed guests, and I hope to bring some raucousness.
Deliver some shit.
That's what I want to do.
Sick. So, man, I guess there's a few different areas of like you that I thought would be cool, to talk on today. And obviously, the martial arts is a part of that because you're very in that world. The other side of things that really strikes me about you that I think would be very interesting for the people is your level of energy and your motivation and your just general kind of froth on life. And I guess I wanted to maybe pick your brain a little bit on how that came about and how you cultivate it, and that how that came to be a part of your life that you sustain.
Okay. Fun times. Well, I think the difficulty is I definitely come from a place of not like anti-motivation. So I was an athletic kid. I was actually chubby, fat, and no orientation towards sport because my mum was very much like, do the school, do the grades, do the homework, life will be okay for you. And it wasn't. And I got bullied and I wasn't cool and I got left out a lot and I just wanted to be included. everyone wants to be a part of something. So, funny story, when they'd pick soccer teams, they would go a man short. So, like Ultimate Fighter, and they have the last guy picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually not be included in the show other than I'd be the guy who just didn't get picked.
And one team would be
They'd
without
go
guy.
a man short so I couldn't play.
Rather than you.
Then have me.
Oh, bro.
It was pretty harsh, right?
That's heavy.
But
Kids.
it's so rough, the schoolyard, right? And I used to get beat down regularly. The school nurse knew me really well, Miss Armitage. She'd be like, "Oh, what is it this time?" "Oh, Stephen Steen punched me in the nose again." Bad nose,
Shout out
Just
Stephen Steen.
Stephen Steen.
Yeah.
I'm
Hope
coming
you're well,
for you,
homie.
bro.
Wherever you are.
You know me now. Because obviously he's listening to this podcast. But yeah, it was tough, man. And all I had was nerd powers. I just had my intelligence and I could learn. I was nerdy. And yeah, obviously motivated by, the power movies of the time. Jean-Claude Van Damme, action films, Bruce Lee, massive inspiration for me, and Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Ninja Turtles is what really got me in.
cartoon.
Sick.
Yeah.
I remember I had that was one of I think I owned like 6 VHS movies, and that
Yeah.
was one of them, and I used to fucking watch it all the
All
time.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casey Jones was my
Casey
favorite. Yeah, he was
Jones.
sick.
Awesome.
2 minutes for slicing.
There's
You
gonna be
you guys remember that film?
yeah, so many movies.
barely.
Oh, bruh.
I was a fan, but
No, no.
Remember, because Splinter had that, not Splinter, sorry, Shredder, the bad
Shredder.
guy, had like a factory where like all the bad
Foot
shit was
Clan.
going on.
Yeah.
But it was basically like half pipes.
Yeah,
like
it was
big
kinda
skate. It was
cool.
like a skate park.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I mean, it was a kid's film, so it's not like they were making drugs or anything in there.
No.
It was just like where the delinquents hung out.
Yeah.
But it was sick. It's like exactly where you want to be.
Yeah.
Looking at it now as a delinquent.
Yeah, like Shredder had a really good recruitment strategy, except he had that ultra disciplined, hard ass Tatsu, who was like head of the Foot Clan.
Oh, is that
Bald
right?
head.
I don't remember that guy.
Actually, I read up on him. That guy has 5 black belts.
The actor.
The actual guy, the human, the guy who played Tatsu, has 5 black belts.
Sick.
Like Aikido, Kendo, Karate.
Who's your
Judo.
favorite Ninja Turtle?
Oh man, look, I got to say Michelangelo because he was funny, because he was really popular. But I was actually Raphael. I was an angry little kid. man.
Raphael was the Sai.
Yeah.
He had the Sais,
Oh,
right?
shit, but he was
Michelangelo was
just-
nunchucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was
You'd
the
be Donatello, Paul.
Michelangelo.
Donatello, I reckon.
Pizza.
But, I mean, but you know,
orange.
but
Why would he be
It's
doing
kind of
that?
like
tell
the
me.
geeky one.
are you?
So
are
you'd
you
be Bebop,
you're,
Who's
you're-
Bebop?
the one that
Sure,
looks
it's
like
like-
a pig.
That's not your kids' TV show.
You'd
The
have to
henchman.
be- You'd have to be Leonardo Tiora because you're
I'll
the
be
serious leader. Like, everybody, settle down and let's do what Splinter said. It's like, yes, boss.
He's got the tatami mat desk
He
over
does
there.
have the tatami, man. But
They're still making those movies.
oh yeah, I know. But now they're roided, right? So it's not bad enough that like The Rock
They
is
are.
now the new Arnold. It's like you now have to be Pacific Islander and on gear to be big. Do you know what I mean? Like how many men have that inferiority complex from Arnold? So they're like doing so much bench to get those big man chesticles, you know what I mean? But
When does it
now
stop?
The Rock, it's like he's the archetype.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can,
yeah.
Like I'm sorry, I don't
Big,
have
big.
the heritage. I can't. I'm just not that big. I can't handle that much gear. But that's the thing.
He's fucking jacked.
He's so big, and the thing is, Ninja Turtles now. That's a, look. If
Are they
I was
bigger?
if I was trying to be a mutant, that's an unrealistic body type. You can put a lot of ooze in a person, but you can't get that Ninja Turtle body type.
The shell would be hard to accomplish.
Oh, the shell. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. Unless you're Dorian Yates in the mid '90s, you can't do it.
Ronnie Coleman did half a good job at that.
He did, but look at him now.
Is he dead?
No, wheelchair, fused discs.
Fuck.
Wreck of a
no.
man.
Jesus.
I thought he was dead.
Sad. No.
I think
just-
we might have spoken about him a few episodes back and asked the same question.
No, it's
Still
just
going.
it's that
Shout out to Ronnie if you're
Ronnie
listening
Coleman.
out there.
No, I respect Ronnie Coleman, man. Yeah, boy. Yeah, buddy.
Fuck that video, man. That still plays in my mind like
Everybody-
once every couple of days.
But no, man, I think it's one of those things that like I was such an unconfident. I had no confidence and I couldn't speak publicly. And martial arts, doing Taekwondo, traditional Taekwondo, gave me that. And my teacher forced me to do stuff.
How old were you when you started?
Well, I was about 10 and a half. But my mum had a cryptic plan. At a very young age, I did ballet, which is a surefire way to get bullied. I think my mum was just looking for a free Saturday. She's like, right, I dropped my younger sister to ballet.
Yeah.
God, my son doesn't do anything. You can do ballet too.
Yeah.
You know, so I was in ballet when I was like 5. So I was kind of chubby, but like learnt how to do the splits. So I had flexibility and some body
That's
awareness.
where you got your splits.
Yeah. And then my mum's like, you know what? Well, you know what could be more masculine? You can do gymnastics. I was like, oh, I've gone one set of Lycra to another. From like a blue leotard to a white one, I'm still in jiffies. What the hell's going on? Like, this is not a way to get socially well adjusted. I'm like, can I play team sport? No. Okay. So like, but that's the thing. I had no core strength. I could do all the floor work. I could cartwheel. I could do forward rolls, but I couldn't do any bar work. I had no core and no grip. So I would always make our team lose. Like our team would go to an event and I would always have the lowest score. I'd get like 4s and 3s on events, except for floor routine. And so my team, even though they had really high level guys in the team, we would lose because of me. And my dad would feel bad for me and he would take me to McDonald's afterwards. To make
Stuff
me
it full of nuggets.
yeah, just like, don't worry, son.
Still my boy.
But that was funny. So when I got bullied so much and I just hit this critical point where I was like, I got to change this. Because I had really bad self-esteem. And I went to Taekwondo and they were like, what can you do? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, are you flexible? I was like, I can do splits. They're like, what? So just did full front side splits like that. And they're like, okay, we can work with that. Can you do a sit-up? No. No. Couldn't do one sit-up, couldn't do one push-up, had no upper body strength. But the mad thing was, this is what got me on the martial arts path. It's the learning problem solving in real time. We learned this thing where someone shoves you in the chest and pushing starts and then punching comes next. And my teacher said, look, you got to stop it in the pushing stage and get out of there before the punching starts. And he showed us this sweet little kind of trip move where someone pushes you and at the point at which they push you and they move back, you kind of knock their hands out the way, you shove them in the chest, but you foot trip them and they fall over and then you can run away. That was the theory. Anyway, it was this. Okay, I want to tell this real quick.
Taekwondo takedown?
Sort of, but it was actually from Wing Chun.
Oh, okay.
So my Taekwondo instructor did Wing Chun as well, which is mad. And so he showed us this, and we just drilled it over and over again. 2 days later, there's this kid called Chris Skilton.
Hey.
Forget you, me. And he was like house captain, school captain, bit of a bully.
Jock.
And it was like
Sounds like a jock.
he was a jock, but skinny jock, like a running jock.
Okay.
But
Endurance
because
jock.
we were in the same house, Lawson House, and I was terrible at athletics, so I was bringing the team down, He didn't like me at all, and he came over with 2 of his friends. It was kind of like some Hogwarts business. These just kids that used to hang out with him, slugs. And he came over and he's like, what do you got for me, Tomlinson? And, I had like the most unpopular sandwich of all time, tin tuna and celery on grain bread, because I had responsible parents. I never had jam or something that you could trade. I never had a wagon wheel. I always had the soggy, healthy salad sandwich.
Yeah.
And no one would trade me. And so I had no money. I couldn't trade him anything. And so they just grabbed my bag, they took my bag, and he shoved me in the chest. And I was like, hang on a second. Because they're going to stomp me. I knew they were going to beat me up. And I was like, I think I know something here. I had this little bing light bulb. And he shoved me in the chest again. I went, all right, there was a voice in my head like, you can get stomped again or just try that thing that you learned. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna try it. So he pushed me in the chest. I did the block thing. I hooked his foot and I pushed him and I nailed it. It was sweet. He seriously got horizontal and landed like flat on his back. And he was winded. And he's like, and his mates were like, oh shit, this kid knows karate. And I was like, yeah. And I turned into a Hulk. I just went so much bigger. And I was like, yeah, you better not, and then look out. And they were just like, and so they kind of picked him up and pulled him off. And I swear to God, from that day, I was obsessed. I was like, I learned one thing and it saved me a beating and changed my mind. I was at Taekwondo like 6 days a week, like every day. Mum's like, you can only go if you've done your homework. And I'm like, homework's done. Let's go training. And I was just like so converted. But about the same time, my dad had started weight training as well as running. He's kind of having a midlife crisis. He's about 50. And he was already a runner, but he started lifting weights and making protein shakes, which were disgusting, by the way. They were like powdered milk, brewer's yeast, and an egg.
Holy shit.
With water.
eggs.
It was so bad, man. Brewer's yeast is very high in protein, by the way. It's 50% protein. But it tastes like dirt with poison. So maybe don't do that. I used to call it tiger's milk. It was disgusting.
What about, just segue, inactive brewer's yeast? Inactive? Because I've got some and it's like they're like the savory yeast flakes.
Yeah.
What's that in comparison to brewer's yeast?
I don't know about the protein content.
Yeah, okay.
But it's disgusting. I wouldn't do it.
But the ones I got taste delicious.
Well, then it's probably not that.
It's kind of like
good for you.
MSG flakes, but it's not MSG.
If it tastes delicious, it's probably not any good. But no, man, I just started copying my dad. Like, my dad never said to me, do this. My dad would go running 10Ks and my mum would shame me because I was watching cartoons, eating large bowls of cereal. And she'd go out there with your father. I couldn't keep up with him on my BMX. I'd do half a block and I'd gas out. And but I just was like bored. And my instructor from martial arts said, you got to train. So I just started like messing around on the kind of home gym bench. And one time he caught me and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And he was like, look, this is dangerous. You can't do this. You can't do this. You know, like, you're too young. And I was like, no, show me something.
How old are you at this stage?
I'm 10 and a half, 11-ish. I'm like, show me something. And he's just like, See, I think he showed me things he thought I couldn't hurt myself doing.
Yeah, right.
So it was like a squat. There was like a pull down, leg extension, a calf raise. I don't know why he showed me a calf raise. He just showed me that. And like a shoulder press.
Strong calves are imperative.
Bro, calf game on point. Anyway, long story short, he said, now you can't add any weight until you can do 100 of everything. You got to do 100 of everything. And I was like, oh, okay.
Fuck, he was talking GVT.
He was talking volume, bro.
Right on.
He was talking volume. But I think it's just because he thought that I wouldn't go outside of what he said.
Yeah.
Which is not true. And so I was doing it every day. Like, I was like, 100, this takes too long. I'm just going to add weight. So I just started regulating it myself. And then I said to my dad, have you got any books? So he gave me like Reps magazine. And he gave me Arnold's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. And then he gave me The Matrix, Professor Ron Laura. And Lee Priest, shout out to Lee Priest. He was
Your
in
dad
that.
was really going for it.
Man, he just, because I was nerdy. Well, no, he wasn't going for it. He was very...
Yeah, I'm picturing
he
your
just-
dad kind of like a parallel universe kind of Henry Rollins type character.
Yeah.
Just grinding it out like
But-
home gym.
Yeah, man. But
Hitting the hills.
But he's vegetarian too. He's
Okay.
he's a crazy guy.
Is Henry Rollins veg? No.
No. But I'm saying that, like, my dad was just like... My dad was vegetarian in the 50s.
Jesus.
So my dad was born in 1941, 42. And he was a vegetarian when he was like 11 years old.
Wow.
Before it was...
He was born in Australia?
No, he's English.
Okay.
But he's mad. So he just does perverse things.
Yeah, right.
But he was very hands off. He just was like, shut up, here's a book. And I was like, yes. And I started learning about programming when I was real young. Started lifting weights, and by the time I was 12 and a half, I was 75 kilos and as tall as I am now.
Jesus, bro.
I was seriously, I was a man child. I was
That's
the
like
biggest
me
kid in
last
school.
year.
Yeah. But no, it was crazy, man. I went from being the short, fat kid to being the big, jacked kid, and everyone just freaked out. And plus I knew how to fight. So I was like, bring it. I just changed my life. So when I came to high school, I just wanted to fight everybody. I was so like jonesing to punch on.
Yeah, right.
Too much testosterone.
Did you ever abuse this newfound strength? Did you ever find yourself kind of trying to pick a fight or...
Yeah,
you know?
100%. But not with no one smaller, always bigger kids.
Yep.
Which is definitely not what I should have been doing. But my mum, in her attempts to curb my enthusiasm, stopped me from doing martial arts. After I got my black belt, she's like, okay, you got your black belt now, focus on your study. But this actually brought me off the rails a bit because I didn't have that outlet. So I started like getting in fights for real and almost got suspended.
And this is at high school?
Yeah, high school, full testosterone, getting into graffiti and just being a bad little unit.
You grew up in Sydney originally, yeah?
Yeah, Penrith, out in the Rift, west side, Western Sydney.
Sure.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, shout
What
out
up,
Ty.
son?
Bam, bam.
Man, I'll tell you something funny.
Western Sydney, stand
Bro,
the fuck up,
yeah, man, get that shoey up, yeah. But the funny thing
mate.
was, I wasn't a football kid. I used to get beat up by the football kids because I went to a nerd high school. I went to Penrith High School. Shout out to all you nerds. Top 10%, y'all. What? We are the 10%.
Nerd bash.
Nerd bash.
Nerd
And
bash,
all the schools around us.
98.
Man, we had St. Dominic's, Jamison High, Nepean High. We had a lot of hard schools around us, and we were just these no football having, studying physics type kids. Except I would punch on. I just wouldn't back down. So I knew how to take a beating. So yeah, my pain tolerance was good, and yeah, it's interesting. I started lifting weights in the gym when I was 11. I had a special note from my parents. I used to go in the gym. I was a huge kid, so they just left me to it. And since then, it's just been on because it changed my whole life. Martial arts and weightlifting. If I didn't have that in my life, I'd probably be in jail.
Yeah,
I'll be 100% honest. Like, as my outlet, like, I had a lot of testosterone. If I didn't have that to send to me, because I went back to martial arts when I was 17, it fixed it. It just fixed it. Like, it just brought me in a line. I was able to study. I was able to be calm. Not that I get anxiety, but I get insecure.
Yep.
So if I don't have a way to express myself, then that kind of brought me undone as a young man. So yeah, having martial arts as a focus and having the gym to blow off steam, and yeah, it's amazing what it's done for my life. And I think that's a big problem with the society now. Even though martial arts is still popular, MMA is popular, it's still really promoted to be like, no, you need to get more savvy with technology, when actually that's providing a lot of disconnect. It's not providing community. It's not providing life lessons. It's just giving you technical proficiency, which doesn't give you life skills.
Yeah.
I got so much from martial arts training and being forced to deal with people who are either confrontational or not, but just learning to deal with people. And that's one of the greatest things I got from martial arts. So that was...
Yeah, amen. T, when did you start doing Muay Thai? Or was that the first martial arts you did?
No, I started with Taekwondo as well.
What
when
age
I
was
was
that there?
6.
Nice.
Got my blue belt, two stripes, I think it was, and then I got to a point where I felt really proficient. I went into a couple of competitions and I did really well, and then I got in a fight with a kid in my football team, and he was just a fucking scrapper. He used to box. His dad used to beat the shit out of him. He was a hard kid, and he was half my size. And he fucking bashed me.
Yeah.
I stood up to him and I wanted to use my Taekwondo on him, and he just opened me up, lit me up with his hands, took me down and sat on top of me and just fucking pummeled my face
Oh, God.
in front of my dad, and he was spewing. I actually went to bed without dinner that night. My dad was so pissed off. No, it was fucking tragic. It was really, it was a shit day. But after that, I realized, okay,
Shout out,
I need to get some hands going.
Yeah,
and then I
for
moved into some kung fu after that.
Yeah, cool.
And then the Muay Thai and some boxing in the same place. It was all in the Paddington PCYC.
Yeah.
So you could kind of move around and try different stuff in there.
Nice.
But yeah, it was
Kept you out of trouble, you reckon, in your teen years?
yeah, for sure. Same thing. I went away from it and then got into a bit of trouble, and then it dragged me back. It's kind of like an anchor, you know? You've got somewhere where you can go, where you can, like, it's still accepted as pretty cool. So if you are hanging out with some bad dudes and they're doing bad things, you can say, oh, no, I'm off to training, and they'll respect it.
True, you
They
don't get a hard time for it.
No. Yeah, so you can still stay in the
In
crew.
the clique, yeah.
Yeah, well, you become like street cred for them then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
he's
fight.
doing training. Yeah, he's a fucking ass kicker.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, he's an actual fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a way out in a way. Plus, the discipline side, and just getting beat up. It's always a really good way to ground you, you know, and realize that you just don't know who someone is, what they're capable of doing, and then learning how to turn that into respect for another human, you know, all of that. It's good.
Definitely, I agree with you there.
Yeah, it's pretty big, hey. And those lessons are like, you don't, like, we probably used to get them organically, you know, right? Like, I don't know, just you see even like kids that grow up in rural areas, like they have a lot more exposure to those kinds of...
mate, I lived in
those sort of life
Dubbo for a
lessons.
year. So I used to talk a lot of smack when I was 14, and then we moved out to Dubbo. Now, back in the day, this is Dubbo in 1998. Yeah, 97, 98. And my God, you got punched in the mouth for just being like, oh, yesterday I went to the movies. No, you didn't. You're showboating. But you didn't even, there wasn't even, you go. It was just,
On.
you spoke out of turn, you got lumped. And it was such a shock to me because, there's a lot of posturing usually before a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't make me.
Come on, yeah.
Don't make me.
No, these guys are just, and the women too. There was this woman named Raywin, and she had some hard brothers, and she could box, and she nearly KO'd me. She just uppercut me one time. I was just trying to have a bit of a joke. But you know that thing where you're like mean to the person you got a crush on? I think she liked me, but she couldn't express it, so she'd always trying, physical contact. I could punch you, but I can't kiss you.
Yeah.
But man, she would lump me hard.
Ground
man.
and pounding your face. I fucking love you so much.
But no, man, I just learned to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
When I came back from Dubbo, I was hard. I'd shut up a lot more. I didn't talk because I just got beat. I got beat down by everybody. I mean, I could fight, but also my mum was the TAFE coordinator, And my mom's like, it looks so bad for me. You're in detention all the time. I'm like, I didn't do anything. They're attacking me. I don't, you know. But it's just one of those things that, like, when you get punched in the mouth, you learn to shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying violence is the way, but I'm saying that, like, for a lot of people, there is no immediate consequence for being out of line or whatever. And I'm not saying we need to discipline people, but I'm saying that, like, man, that's some staunch feedback.
Yeah, totally. It's real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't go down so well. That thing about going to the movies, I better not bring that up.
Yeah. Your actions will have a consequence.
Yeah.
It's very easy to understand because the body recognizes pain, but
And just says, no.
it's harder to read how someone's words like, when you get hit, it's like,
I
it's
learned
like getting stung
something
by an electric fence.
Did you have any of those? Did you have any experience like that, Paulie, like getting bullied or something like that go down when you were a kid?
Not really.
Coconuts never get bullied,
No.
bro.
There's always a bigger coconut, bro. But he's usually your cousin, eh?
They don't
Say
bully
lassie.
each other.
Remember, I'm your cousin. Oh, sorry, bro.
Still give me your money.
Yeah. Come on, buddy sandwich.
Not really. I remember like one incident that happened once. We were playing a game. This is like in year freaking 3 or something like that. We were playing tag or grab 1, 2, 3 or bull rush or something. I caught a kid's shirt and it ripped his shirt like right off his thing. And he was an older kid than me. And he came up to me and was like, "What the fuck did you do that for?" I was like, "Clearly an accident." And then he basically just ripped my shirt off.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he ripped my collar off and ripped my shirt off my back.
Wow.
That was about it. Yeah.
Just to reveal this fucking
Striptease.
rippling Serge Oliveira-like physique.
Nah, I was a stick back then, man.
There you go.
Yeah, late bloomer. That was probably it. Like, and it's surprising because when you asked me, it just popped straight into my head. So somewhere under there, somewhere.
Yeah, right.
It's been there, but no, not really. I was everyone's friend.
Nice.
I was the glue between all the crews and all the little circles and the people in the year
Nothing's
above.
changed, bros.
Nothing's changed. Yeah, I know, career fence sitter.
Oh, we got some interference.
Let's hold there.
Oh,
Oh no,
done.
it's good.
We're good?
I just looked at it.
Power, his chi.
Right.
But yeah, that's funny, right? That like that most people have had some kind of experience like that. That's really stays with you forever. Like you remember those moments vividly, and then probably fair to say they drive you towards the things that you get into, and they drive you towards martial arts and those, and then those things sort of help give you a solution to them, right?
Yeah. It's a terrible thing when you feel powerless.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like you don't know how to fix your car, and there's something wrong with your car. But then someone who knows, they can fix it very easily. Same thing like fitness. Like someone has an injury and they don't know how to fix it or amend it. But then you guys have got the skills and the knowledge to be able to do that. And they're like, wow, you're a magician. But actually, you're just doing your job. It's the same thing for me with martial arts. Like I just went, you know what? I hate that powerless feeling where, someone can stand over you and you can't do anything about it. You don't know how to defend yourself. You're not strong enough or fit enough to do anything, run away or fight back or whatever it might be. So I've just really shaped my life to be as hard to kill as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about the oosh. Fix that, nice. Tell us about your triple black belt journey.
Okay, well, so I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and I now have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Congrats, bro. That's
Thank
a
you.
fucking huge achievement.
Thanks, bro. Well, definitely.
Just to give the people some context, how many years training Jiu-Jitsu, and roughly, on average, how many times a week do you think you train?
Okay, well, it's 10 years. It was 10 years for me this March. So I got my black belt last December. And then from there, I would say ultimately, it's one of those things where there was a time in my life where I was training all the time, and then there was times in my life where I was only training 4 days a week. But so you know what I mean?
So
like
the light periods were 4 days
4 days
a week.
and then the full time were 6 days a week, 3 times a day
Fuck off.
in Brazil.
Okay.
So I went to Brazil early. I made that jump real early. I started jiu-jitsu 2008.
Yeah.
A year later, 2009, I went to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
As a white belt, I won the Rio Open,
Sick.
which was crazy. It just reinforced my self-belief I could do jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
But for the best part, I just got beat down. I just took beatings. And my father did judo, and he never got me to do it. And I always thought it would be really valuable to learn judo. Now I have my black belt in BJJ, and I'm teaching. I'm like, man, I don't know judo. I feel like I'd love to learn judo and have that proficiency with the gi, because I feel like there's a serious lack of good judo in Australian BJJ at least. I know on the world level, many high-level black belts have their black belt in judo.
Right.
But yeah, Dan Kelly down at Resilience, probably Australia's greatest judoka. He's a mate of mine. We competed against each other.
I love watching that guy in the UFC.
Man, he
was fucking great.
He's the most determined human.
He was all of his, from what I can remember, he's always on the wrong end of a beatdown.
Dude.
And you're like, oh, he's done.
He
and then he
grits it
just
out.
fucking turns it around
Man.
at the end of every fight.
Dan Kelly is the most determined human. That guy is held together by strap and tape. That guy has 16 years as an Olympian. Still the best heavyweight to really come out of Australia. Maybe he didn't compete at heavyweight, but I want to speak out of turn. He's also a super nice guy with a family and a wife, and he full-time runs a judo gym, which is the best gym in Australia with all the best competitors. And man, he's just got the will to fight.
How good.
And it's great. It's a great example. I love learning from him. So I want to get my judo black belt by the time I'm 40. So I'm 35. That might be a little bit ambitious, but
Do you have to start from the bottom
yes.
like everyone else?
Yeah, I'm a white belt on the mat, but I'm a black belt in my heart.
Judo black belts get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, don't they?
They have to. They can't come in at white belt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So just break everyone's collarbones.
Well, yeah, it's just not fair. Like, because they can't grapple.
Yeah,
they
it's
learn
true.
submissions.
True.
And then you've got some guy who's just like, yeah, I've trained for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they just ipon him into the ground, dislocate his shoulder, and armbar him.
You know, when I competed at, I don't know if I told this story on the podcast before. It's a little bit gross, but I'm just going to lay it
That's
out
cool.
there.
Put it out there.
I competed in the Asian Championships for jiu-jitsu, and I'd been out of the game for about a year and a bit, and I just got my blue belt.
Oh.
And I'd already enrolled. I'd already registered for the comp, I think, and then I got the blue belt, and then I was like, "Fuck! All right, this is the thing." So we went over it anyway. I can't remember what match it was. I won one fight by points, and then the second fight it was absolute division open weight. Fought this little guy, and everyone at that comp was basically a judo black belt. Like,
Yes.
you know, I was just looking around, and it was like there were dudes competing there with like, I saw a couple guys with like their Olympic judo gis on, like with the patch on the back, and the way they were standing and shit. I'm like, fuck, man, these guys are so high level. Anyway, this little dude I fought, he tossed me so easily. Like we grabbed, we both got grips, and he just flipped me, and I literally bounced on my head. Like, he upended me up over his shoulder. I bounced off my head
Kaboing.
and back onto the mats and got to my feet, and we kept going again. And then about 30 seconds later, he did the exact same throw, landed me on my head again. I bounced, and I landed straight in an armbar. And it was beautiful. And he armbarred me, and I tapped. And then I go to the toilet the next day. I shat blood for 2 days.
Oh, no.
I'm not even kidding, man.
No.
The guy fucking wrecked me.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I was like, should I be concerned about this? And I went through all the appropriate medical checks.
Ruptured bowel.
Yeah, but I was like, man, there must have been some impact in that. And I had like my neck and my spine was fine.
Wow.
It's a bit crooked now, but yeah. But I was like, I still got video footage. I'm like, man, that guy fucking threw me so hard.
You got footage of that?
Oh,
from that trip?
I think so, but I don't know where it is.
Let's dig in the crates.
Yeah,
That'd be
man,
fun.
it'd be good to find. It was, it was just immense how much force he could create.
Wow.
And how he could throw. So I was probably 15 kilos heavier than him,
And he just...
And he's like...
I was just sailing through the air at
Yeah.
like max velocity.
It so doesn't mean anything if somebody if their technique's so much higher, you could be 30 kilos heavier, 40 kilos heavier. If they know what they're doing and you're not sure, it's trouble.
You go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I take my beatings. It's great. I think the part of the reason why I love jiu-jitsu is it was cool to go from being a black belt, doing something for a long time, and then being a white belt again. And when I go into resilience and do judo,
You don't come to that judo club and every time you're about to roll with grapple with the guy, you're like, hey, just so you know, I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt.
No, Dan tells
I'm
everyone.
only a white belt here.
No,
but normally
Dan goes, look out, this guy. You should all know he's going to beat you all down. Like
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit pressure from him, but he's also warned his guys. But I do what I can. Like against the black belts, I go mental. I'm like, well, if you can't handle me, then forget.
You go super athletic?
I go super hard on the black belt. Well, they're national team guys. They're state team guys.
Yep.
I'm there.
And they play hard and fast, right?
100%. I'm there to break them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Tenacity
you can't deal with me. Give me your black belt. Everyone else, I just keep it cool because I want to learn from them. And I want to learn from the black belts too, but they need to know that I'm coming for them.
Yeah.
Like I'm not there in a ignorant way. I want to learn from everybody, but there's a couple guys there who I know want to do me.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I'm going to give them everything I got, and that's fine because that's all I got, right? So when you're a white belt and you come to jiu-jitsu, that's what you do. You just give it everything you got. And for sure,
It's the honeymoon period. It's the best.
I'm the gym spaz. I heel kick the guy in the knee. Like,
Oh, no.
trying to do an Uchimata. I kind of did it, not an Uchimata, a Sotogari. Tried to do this move, and he stepped wrong as I was stepping, and I literally just went, pow, and just like, just heel kicked him in the knee, and he fell, and he was like, oh, why? And I was like,
Funny.
sorry, bro.
Judo know who you're messing with.
Pretty much.
God.
I'm like, I am the gym spaz. And it's totally cool. I'm cool. I almost killed one of my training partners because I was going low key on the drilling. And the coach is going, nah, give it something. And I'm like, nah, I'm chill. Let me just get this. And they're like, no, you're doing it wrong because you're not giving it enough. And I was like, no. Look, let me just take my time. It's 7 a.m. Let's be chill. And they're like, no, just give it something. And I went, okay. And I nailed it. And I launched my training. It wasn't just like shoulder through him. I launched him and he landed on his head.
Sick.
And his neck crunched real bad. Poor Carlos. I'm like, you okay, bro? And he's like, can't feel my legs. No, he was all right. He was fine, but I was like, because I haven't got my technical proficiency down, I'm trying to keep it on the learning tip. And that's what I love about martial arts. There's always some place you can start again.
Yep.
So, yeah, technically, I'm a white belt. Competitively, I'm definitely somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, right.
I can take a black belt down.
Yeah, right. I'm bringing the heat.
No, because it's one of those things that's like there's a lot more crossover between judo and jiu-jitsu than say taekwondo and jiu-jitsu.
Totally. Yeah.
So
they're like cousins.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
And anyway,
To give the listeners a bit of context there, they basically come from the same art.
they're the same thing.
But the emphasis is different, and that is that judo focuses predominantly on starting from standing and taking your opponent down.
Yep.
And then there's a little bit of emphasis on the groundwork.
Yep.
Whereas jiu-jitsu, basically most of the emphasis is a little bit on standing, but most of the emphasis, like 99%, is on the ground.
Yes.
So like that's a common thing that you see, right? I remember we have had heaps of judo guys come through like the gyms that I've trained at over the years. But you get a judo guy come in, you start standing, they throw you, and then you like end up on their back choking them out.
Yeah.
And they're like, I just took you down and now I'm tapping. Like
Yeah.
and it's just a difference in the sport, right?
Yeah, and the sport has evolved. It has changed a lot in the last 10 years because the gripping's changed. You can't do two-hand grip breaks. You can't do leg attacks.
You can't do two-hand grip breaks.
You have to do a single-arm grip break.
So you can't go 2-on-1
No.
and break the grip.
In competition, you
No,
mean?
yeah. Because
Wow.
guys were so good at grip breaking, no one would get thrown. It's like,
Jesus.
grip break.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's the sport, and even the top level guys are like, it's just not the sport it used to be.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just a different set of skills, and it's cool to be learning. I love that
Hell
about
yeah,
martial arts.
yeah.
Just the continual learning, this infinite, like doing boxing. So I've had one professional MMA fight, and I got pretty dinged up.
Have you?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, a couple of years back, and probably jumped in a bit soon. It was a little bit of a mismatch, but I couldn't get an amateur fight. So whatever, like a little bit.
How'd
Do
you
you know
go?
how people can be like risk averse? I'm like pro risk. What is that? High chance of dying? Maximum chance of injury? Yes.
Sign me up. Yeah.
Let's do it. You know.
How'd you go in the fight?
Okay, man. I got pretty towed like with the hands. I got 2 takedowns, 3 takedowns, but I couldn't keep the guy down. He was very good at cage walking and that.
Yeah.
And he'd actually had a lot more fights than the promoter had said. But that aside, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think it got stopped early because I got punched in the ear. I'd already kind of had my cheek split a little, but he landed an overhand right in my left ear, which is my collie ear, and it split into my ear. So I had blood gushing out of my left ear.
Ooh.
And I think the ref thought I'd burst my eardrum.
Right.
Because he was like, oh, there's a nosebleed coming out of the side of this guy's head. That ain't right.
We
He
got
was
a
like-
gusher.
He was like, nah, bro, stop. Which wasn't great. But to be honest, it was exciting. I was going to say it's the biggest rush in my life. I've jumped out of a plane. I've done highly questionable things in my lifetime. When they shut the cage door,
That was the
it's
one.
just you and me, and one of us has to go down. There's nothing more frightening, exciting, real. The truth of the combat is right there.
I'm highly attracted to it.
It is. It's sexy.
Like personally, like
It's
Like I still think that I would like to try that.
sexy,
I'd
man,
love to.
sexy.
I'm talking to
Gross.
Marco and I geeing each other up for it.
Oh man, it's a little bit scary because you get
Yeah.
very badly damaged.
yeah,
It's
consequences
the
are great.
damage, right? Like
Yeah.
if you do boxing, you can do an amateur fight. You wear headgear, you wear very padded gloves, and it's very different. I think that people really don't appreciate the level of damage that you can take in a
Yeah.
unskilled MMA fight. I mean, it can also be very boring. It can be Division 9 mixed basketball levels.
Yeah, totally.
Like just nothing happens, no one scores, very boring, everyone's disappointed by the whole event. Or it could be you took 10 stitches in your face, tore your ACL, fought your heart out, and got paid nothing. And now you don't have health cover and you got to go to hospital, get that surgery, and deal with that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and you can't
Come
go to
on, man.
work and
No. So
Still
no,
that
keep
rush
it
though,
real.
it's-
That rush though. But
You're like,
also,
no,
there's
what
unless
this,
you
does it
keep
feel
winning,
like?
bro, and just get to the top like Conor McGregor did. Just do that.
Just keep winning.
we need to not bring that up right now. Like let's not go there. I don't want to alienate anybody.
Do you think that fight's even going to happen between him and Khabib? I've seen
Yeah.
fuck all promotion for it, and it's in like a week and a half.
Yeah, no. It's going off. It's going
happening.
off. It's definitely happening.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening.
Why is there no hype around it?
There's a lot of hype around it.
There's not much hype around it. Bro.
There's
I'm all over
crazy.
YouTube.
There's crazy hype around it. What are you talking about? You see the press conference?
Yeah, I
Connor
saw the one
he's
press conference.
definitely on coke.
You reckon?
He's- oh, 100%.
What?
Yeah, man. Connor is not a lyrical genius. He's just really good at taking drugs.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. What I was going to say is,
Shout out Conor McGregor. Thanks for listening.
if you listen to me, Connor, good
If you're on
luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. You know, it's like
You got Khabib on
it's
that
like-
one?
I'd like Khabib to win because I like seeing Conor lose. Not because Conor isn't good. I just don't like what Conor represents in martial arts.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on his success because obviously he's good at what he does. I don't like his ethic. I don't like all the things around him because he really epitomizes douchebaggery.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I wasn't a Ronda Rousey fan. She was like, oh, let me promote arrogance and not shake anyone's hand.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, she's such a female role model. No, she's not. If you're a black belt in a martial art like judo, you learn that when you come out, you shake your partner's hand.
Yeah.
It's just acknowledgement. We're doing this together. There can be no fight without us. Otherwise, it's just me doing weird dance moves by myself in pajamas. And you can just do that at silent disco. Like,
But that's the beauty of the whole thing. Like you got different characters. You got good you got good characters. You got shit
but the
ones.
thing is,
and
but the thing is, like, if it's
if everyone was the same, if everyone was
respectful and
respectful.
fine, yeah, but I don't care. Whatever. I'm
That's
not here to cultivate the entertainment industry. I have my ethic based in martial arts. And that's why I really can't condone disrespect. Like, you can say whatever you want about a person, whatever. But you can't be a millionaire without the person that you're beating on in front of you. The least you can do is touch gloves. Even if they said something bad about your family, you whatever. What I love seeing is when you see two guys who really dislike each other at the end of the fight.
yeah, that's
They
right.
bro down.
Yeah, even if they're not cool.
I mean, that's the thing.
They're not
At
cool.
the end of that experience, and I've never fought MMA, but like even after a hard roll with someone,
Yeah.
where there's a lot of like intensity and some hatred in there,
It's full on, yeah.
it's super full on. You're so like relieved afterwards.
Yeah.
You can't. It's very hard to not be grateful for that
more
individual.
respect.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, like how Rousey was. That would be so hard to do that.
Yeah, she had to work
actually
really
be
hard,
Cold,
that
like
level
a cold bitch
of asshole.
after
Yeah.
you've just dominated this individual.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And karma is a bitch. So when you get head kick knocked out by a really nice
Ouch.
girl, that's what you get.
Holly Holmes like the
daughter.
nicest girl on
She's
the
the
planet.
nicest human, so humble. And so I was very happy in that moment. I
Yeah.
felt like karma dropped the head kick bomb. And also, you can come back and not be prepared to take that money and get destroyed by one of the hardest working people in the game, which is Amanda Nunes.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
And she'll break your face off.
It's my time. It's my time.
I wouldn't fight Amanda Nunes.
No,
dude.
She's fighting Cyborg now, I think.
That'd be amazing fight.
Jesus, that's gonna be good.
That's good, serious business. So look, I look, you know,
Hey, by the way, I'm a glove toucher.
no, whatever. That's all
I'm
good.
definitely a glove toucher.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice
Nice
glove
guy, Paul.
toucher?
Yeah.
No, but-
Nice guy, photo Philly.
Yeah, well, I would expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no surprises.
I
there,
guess
Paul.
I'm such a glove toucher that it fascinates me to watch the display of non-glove touches. That's what people love to
Yeah.
watch that because they can't
Yeah,
be that.
It's like,
maybe,
holy
you know.
shit, that's so intense.
My God,
How can you be
he's-
that way?
Yeah, his ego's so huge.
I'm the
and
same. I
mine's not.
I kind of appreciate it from the spectacle.
Yeah,
yeah, but that's see,
perspective.
everybody
That's what I'm
wants
saying.
spectacle, but like, come on now, like,
Hey, don't hate on spectacle, bro.
no, I'm not hating on spectacle. I'm just saying that you have choices in life, right?
Yeah.
And how you communicate yourself to the world is right there. So you might only have one opportunity to be in front of how many million people, and how you conduct yourself is like how it was written, right? And people may not remember that, but it's on you. You go to bed at night, you deal with that, right? So I come from a place where even if you don't like someone acutely, let's not go to hate, you still give them the respect of a human. I mean, I respect everybody as a human. That's basic. That's just being a good human, right? So respect is given. It's not, oh, you have to earn respect. No, everyone's a human being. Respect them. And then you got the opportunity to punch their face off, so do that too. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's tough to not touch gloves. I just think that's nonsense. And the ethic that came through, which was definitely the self-promotion of douchebaggery, which is Conor McGregor and also epitomized by Ronda Rousey. You know, what's great about Rose Namajunas, she was like, yo, just be good people. Lord's Prayer, peace, what? I'm out.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Thank God for that. Like, not thank God, but just I'm so thankful there's that correction. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, GSP, one of the greatest welterweights of all time, wouldn't even curse. I mean, he's a little bit uptight. He's French-Canadian, that's weird. I'm not impressed
talk like a
with
robot.
your performance. Give me the belt,
Going
Dana.
to get down
I
on
want
my
the
knees
belt.
like that.
You do it very well.
Oh, because I say that all the time. Yeah. When my students try and show me something, I say, I'm not impressed with your performance. And they don't know what I'm talking about because they're hell young and they don't know who GSP is. It's very disconcerting. But, you know, I always wanted to fight GSP. You know, I met him one time, but I always wanted to fight him because we're the same size.
Yeah,
and he
right.
started as a bully kid, did karate, the whole deal. Like, I feel like there's a lot in common.
Similar line and
there,
discipline front.
Yeah, but I would curse. I know he wouldn't curse, but he would curse. You know.
Take me to. I want to switch gears to your kind of a lot of the motivational type stuff and that you do with your clients.
Yep.
Which you came to one of our retreats last year and
That was amazing.
You
and
did a super cool presentation for us.
It was a great time.
I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to your tribe
Yeah.
and that you would have me there and participate in that. That was like an amazing experience. And actually, I'll put it out there right now. Small minor plug for my game that I invented, Jugo.
Plug that.
No,
Huge.
it's all good. I was meditating on the beach. You know when we went out to the beach and we lay on the sand?
Yeah. We
And I was
a little
thinking
breath
about I was
practice.
thinking about my life. I was thinking about what I'd done. I thought, man, I haven't made anything. Like I've experienced all the cool stuff. I haven't made anything. But this little voice went, you made a game. And I went, yeah, I did make a game. I made a BJJ card game. But why didn't I do that? And I was just thinking about the shortness of life and our mortality. And I was like, I just got to make it, right? So as soon as I came back from retreat, I started actioning it.
Oh,
And
because
now-
you already had the idea.
Yeah, I'd already made it, but
In
I'd
your head.
parked it. No, I'd actually
Oh.
started making it,
Oh, I
but
see.
I'd parked it.
Yeah.
You know, and people say, oh, why didn't you do that? You just don't explore it.
I
'cause
had other
it's-
shit.
It's
Yeah.
too hard or it's whatever, right? So then I did explore it, and here we are now. It's a thing.
Jugo's fucking taken over.
Yeah, well, it's getting there, man. I think it'll change the way people learn martial arts.
Huh.
I'm going to be real right now. We're expanding it, and there'll be other versions which are not jiu-jitsu.
Do you want to
Sick.
quickly tell us what it is?
Oh,
What
yeah, it's
Jugo is?
the
I know what it is.
BJJ
People.
card game. So you learn sequencing, like a takedown, a pass, a control, a submission. And at the moment, it's determined by the roll of a dice. So it's very chance-oriented. But it's very basic so that non-jiu-jitsu people can learn it.
Yeah.
So it's not jiu-jitsu. But
It's a card game.
it's a card game.
Under
But
the theme of
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. But now the new iteration of it is there is, in the same way you have houses in poker, like you have king of hearts, queen of hearts, jack of hearts, ace of hearts, you do a flush, right? Or a full house, a run. Now, there will be little icons on the card where you go De La Riva guard, birimbolo, back take, cross stroke from back. That's a full house, right? You can't beat that. But there's only a 5% chance you can pull that out.
Sick.
But it's cool because you can actually learn real sequences that happen in jiu-jitsu, and it's separated into like white belt, blue belt, purple belt, and black. So you can do it almost like a silver. You can use it. And a good friend of mine, Mars Ciccarelli, who's like a beast, purple belt world champion out of Unity, Nomadic Mars. Check her out. She's a beast. She uses it to help teach as well when they're doing flow concepts.
No way.
That's cool.
Oh, she's very artistic. She's amazing. Check out her Instagram at Nomadic Mars.
Nomadic Mars. How do you spell Mars?
Mars.
Okay, like the planet.
Yeah, planet. She's amazing. She's really creative. But I will be taking it international next year.
Hell yeah.
Where can people find it?
At www.jugo.net. We're just working on the
How
.com.
do you spell Jugo?
Jiugo, like Jew for jiu-jitsu. Jiugo.net.
Sick.
What you didn't mention was that it's also a really cool product. Like the design, there's a lot of meaning behind it. You've got experience in sketching, drawing, graffiti when you were young. It's got sick graphics on it. Right?
Oh, you're very kind for saying that, Paulie. Well, I'm reworking the graphics right now. And so,
yeah.
yeah, no, I appreciate
That's
you
cool.
saying that. And we're working on
really
some
cool.
art with that, going around the card game. But I was going to say, that actually really, I'm 100% honest, sparked out of my meditations at the JB retreat.
How cool.
That's really real.
That's what happens at those events, though, right?
It's so good,
you
man.
You get away from...
And you get your mind clear.
Yeah, and you do some new shit, and you learn some shit, and then all of a sudden, like, the creativity starts to flow, and then the action takes place.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, I in this last year or so, since that, I've had a few things happen to me personally, ups and downs, and it's really prompted me to take action. And what I'm always doing with anyone that I work with, like personal training client, is really advocate for them to take action. A lot of time in our society conditions us that there's all these rules and you need permission, all this stuff. I've never had a problem with that because I don't respect authority and no one could tell me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just this repugnant, do what I want, shake my fist at the sky. But my mum, like the only person I'd listen to is my mother. And even then, after a while, I was like, all right, Mum, I can only listen to you so much. I'm going to go do graffiti. But I didn't tell her that. And it was funny because I was like, I looked at society and I looked at government and I'm like, these guys are doing illegal things as well. These motherfuckers. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's just they got away with it because they had the constraints of government and policy and company. And I was like, well, I don't need permission. I'm just doing this. Like, I don't want to hear that. So essentially for me, I was like, I'm just going to take action. I have to be the best example of taking action that I can. So every day I journal and I go after my things and I do whatever I can to see what I want in the world. I love Buddhism. I do Tibetan Buddhist meditation at Kadampa Meditation Center in Melbourne. They're all over the place. Shout outs to my monk, Dorney, Gen Dorning. He's always wording me up. Shout out to my girlfriend, Ola, for steering me in that direction. She's always teaching me.
She was the influencer there.
Yeah. She was like, hey, do you want to go on a meditation date?
She's sitting in the corner of the room just observing quietly.
Just got to give her a shout. And she said, yo, you want to go on a meditation date? And I was like, what? Ain't nobody ever said that to me. But I already did a bit of meditation, And that was awesome. And so that was one of the most positive things. It's one of the more positive things in my life. And working with people day to day, they say to you, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, well, tonight I can't train you because I'm going to see my monk. Like, you got a monk? I'm like, yeah, he's awesome. He's a real cool guy. I mean, I'm not a Buddhist, but there's a lot of stuff to be taken from Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism. And,
for sure.
And humility. It's all about humility and acceptance and love, and it's great. I'm still going to eat meat. That's me. That's just me. And I'm not moralizing on anybody who does or doesn't. My father's vegetarian. He's one of the most disciplined guys I know. I love him to death. But I don't have very high blood iron. And there's a lot of anemia in my family. If I don't take serious amounts of iron supplements and eat red meat, I tend to go really pale and die. So, so in the name of still being here.
In the name of being hard to kill.
Hard to kill. I'm going to eat that steak. But no, look, I like to advocate because staunch Staunchness is a primary tenet of tenacity. Where I'm from, when you grew up, like it was like the ultimate compliment if you're a stauncher.
I staunched that guy.
Staunch, yeah, because I'm from Penrith, right? So
Yeah.
if someone got like stood over, they got staunched.
We used to with that same like,
Big, yeah, that's
yeah. In
If
our,
someone,
our
if someone,
circles
yeah,
at school.
man, he's a stauncher. If someone's,
Yeah,
if someone
staunch cunt.
fronted on you, and then the guy staunched up, like nah, and like meh, and you're like, oh, that was so staunch.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it was like a real compliment for toughness and self resolve.
Yep.
Like nah, because you know to staunch the flow is to stop the flow.
Is that right?
Yeah, like
That's
if
the
someone's
actual,
bleeding, you staunch the flow. You know when you get a
Yeah, right.
kink in a hose
Yeah.
and it just and you get no flow. That's you staunch the flow. Just like if you stop the bleeding. So to be a stauncher is to be a stopper.
Ooh, I
I'm gonna
like it.
stop you in your tracks.
Sick.
So there's a certain militancy and staunchness that I try and share with my clients, not in an aggressive way, in a I will not be dictated to, I will not be bullied. Because as someone who's been bullied and acted kind of as an immature bully as a young kid, and you know, they say bullied kids become bullies, and just learning what damage that does to people, not myself included, you know, I hate bullies, you know, and I love to teach people like a form of mental self-defense, which is you're the boss of you. No one can tell you what to do. You can resolve. If you think something's unethical, you think something's uncool, then you don't do it. Even if it's your big boss and you know, you stick to your principles. That's the most key thing. And then you have that conversation, you say, what are your principles? People say, what do you mean? I like yoga. Just, what do you stop? Why do you get so deep for? Does it get hot in here? Turn on the air conditioning. We don't have air conditioning. It's against our principles. No. But that's the thing. Like, I love getting these conversations with people because even though I do a lot of small talk in my job, I like to segue into very much important things. And for the best part out there, not everyone has a community as cool as Jungle Brothers, and not everyone has that staunch friend. You know, you got that real kind of bossy friend who tells you what's good for you, and you're like,
the realist, yeah.
you don't want to
Yeah.
hear it, but like they're on point, and they're like, stop doing that. That's BS. You
I
shouldn't
feel
do
like
that.
I'm that guy for some of my friends.
You know, they,
Yeah.
they come to you, and
The
that's
real talk guy.
the real talk, and
Try to
everyone
be.
everyone needs real talk, right?
Yeah.
And what I try and do is be that advocate where they know I got their back, so I'm never going to encourage them to do something that's not good for them. Just say, hey, why are you listening to that person? Don't listen to them. Listen to you. What do you think? I'm not trying to promote a dogma. I am advocating self-reference. What is your philosophy? What are you into? What do you want from life? Because everyone's path is different. Everybody's unique. So I'm not going to have the audacity to tell somebody, you know, what you must believe in and what you must do. But in truth, what I try and do is ask the questions that gets people, asking the right questions of themselves so
Yeah.
they can cultivate their own philosophy. Because most people don't even talk about philosophy.
Do you do any coaching, like
Yeah,
life coaching stuff,
yeah.
as well as?
Yeah, well,
PT?
a long time ago, I actually did Paul Check's level 1,
Nice.
holistic lifestyle coaching, and got into the level 2. And it's all very expensive. And shout out to Paul Check because he's
Good
still
stuff, eh?
alive.
Yeah, he's still kicking.
Still alive, still kicking. Check Institute.
Still looks healthy as fuck.
looks great. Respect to the Checkies. They're doing good things, technical as they are. Much love. And I learned a lot about looking at someone as a whole. Look at their stress. Look at their health. Don't just look at them like you are a machine and how do you operate.
Yeah.
Look at their life. Look at their context. And that helped me a lot. And there were times when I was younger where I didn't have someone who could answer my questions because I didn't have friends or my parents didn't have those tools or those resources. And I wish somebody, like a mentor or a friend, could say, hey, dude, do it like this or stop doing that. Do this instead. And I really promote in people to be that advocate. You could be that Barocca in the cup of water that is life. You just fizz out and everybody's like, yeah, let's get some of that good yellow shit. That's great. You know, get that kind of radioactive urine 20 minutes later. But you know what I mean? Like
So vitaminized right now.
yeah. But you can be that, or you can be the person going, oh, how's this weather and how's this traffic and whatever. Like that makes nothing better. Like you have not made the world a better place. And I think like there's a great book called Legacy, which is the 12 things we can learn from the All Blacks. And it's all about the cultural change that went on at the All Blacks when they were kind of known as chokers, like choke artists, like when they just lost to England by penalty goal in the final, whatever, back in the days. And how they became this amazing, most winningest team, you know, and what they did. And one of the key things in that is they say, are you being a good ancestor? You are a thread in the rope of life, right? When someone looks back and goes, did that thread strengthen the rope or not? Like, will someone look at your actions? Not that they will, but in 40 years, if someone looked at what you did you do it good? Did you do it really well? Did you do it exceptional? What did you do? And it's not about impressing other people. It's about just loving the thing you do. And when you love it so much, you'll do it great. You know, and you see people who love their jobs, even if it's just like they make croissants, but they love croissants more than anyone. They love holding them up and looking at the little aeration pockets and the crispiness and you know, they love it. And that passion, which we can all have for many different things, just feeds out. And it's the best thing. And we're all capable of it. You don't have to be, you know, you're human. We have this potential, but we're told we have limitations. We don't. It's bullshit. Don't buy into it. Whatever you want to do, get up on it. Whatever you don't want to do, look at it and see if it is necessary or not. And man, I just try to help people remove the blocks from their enthusiasm and their energy, and then really promote them to do the good things for them. And personal philosophy and personal direction, like a lot of my personal philosophy is derived from Stoicism and controlling your reasoned choice, because that's all you got. Can't control too much of this stuff out here. You can only control what's going on in here and how you choose. And that's what you got. You got your choice. You can choose to feel good about it or bad about it. If you say it's a thing, it's a thing. If you say it's not a thing, it's not a thing. But that's very much down to your perspective, you know. So I try and definitely, if I get a client who's kind of whingy and a bit meh, I don't chastise them for it, but I definitely change their headspace. And then just have them leaving the gym, you know, feeling vibed.
Fucking big vibes from you, bro.
Bro.
I think that's a pretty perfect spot for us to wrap it up. Cool. My man, where can people find you?
Oh, man, look, people can find me on Instagram at JT_tenacity. Or if they want to check out Jugo, they can go to @JugoPlay, JIUGOPLAY. Or hit me up on Facebook, James Tenacity Tomlinson. I'm there. You either find me training somebody, training myself, or strangling somebody, or getting strangled.
Oh, yeah.
Or tossing someone.
Yeah, definitely. But no, man, I think I'm very appreciative for you having me on here, and just so happy to see what a response you guys can engender in your people. Because you can have a great institution for people to go to, but it doesn't mean you galvanize people and bring them together. But you guys have a great space, and you guys are great, but you are helping those other people be great, and that's so cool. And the enthusiasm when I'm just kind of reading people's comments, and they're like, it's just, that's so cool, you know, it's so natural. And you guys aren't forcing that. You're not making that. It happens as a result of you guys being cool. So stoked to be here. Love to do more stuff with you guys, and definitely going to be hearing more from me on that positivity tip and that
real talk.
Yeah, that real talk, but just that self-direction. So
cool, man.
Fuck yeah, man. We're going to wait out for that shit. We're going to get you back on the show, because I think we probably got into like only a small little portion of you, right? But yeah, we're excited to see what you got coming up. And,
man. Well, I have been inspired by you guys, so I'm thinking that I may organize myself a podcast.
Sick.
So maybe I can invite you guys down to be on my podcast. I don't know if I'll have as many mics.
Yeah.
It might have to be like a
your own mic,
like an MC cipher where you got to rotate on, and then you like
push the guy off.
Yeah, and then you call it. Calling
Hot
in
mic.
JB Paulie, and then just he steps in, and you have to rhyme the last word that I said. And I'm joking.
You can have no listeners that way, man.
No. I think it's one of those things that I love having really good conversations with people, and I think the way you guys podcast is just like some really good open discussion. So Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Awesome. Thanks for
Appreciate
having
you.
me. And I really appreciate it. And shout out to all the JB fam.
Thanks, JT.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, guys. That was episode 20, JT Tenacity. You can get us at junglebrothers.com if you want to reach out. If you want to get in touch with JT, if you want to get in touch with us, talk about your training. We're at 15 Underwood Avenue, Botany. You can also get our goodness on YouTube, Jungle Brothers Strength and Movement. We've got a pretty dope channel there with more content going up sort of on the weekly. So, stay in touch. Check out our podcast if you like it. Leave some killer reviews and tell all your friends.
We spoke about a retreat somewhere in the middle there. We're having another one, yeah?
We are having another one, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. We're doing another retreat sometime early 2019. It's looking like back end of February. That will potentially be our last retreat at the infamous Currawong Beach, which is where we've run our prior retreats, and it's a pretty special part of the earth. So we're going to be running another one there. Details TBA, but they'll be out sometime in the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested,
Get on our website and sign up on the for the newsletter.
yeah, get on the newsletter. You get all the updates on all the shiz. Cheers,
That's
fam.
right. All right.
All right. Peace out.
Thanks, team.
Let's get something to eat.